Hey y'all, welcome to Cooking with Miss Holt. It is a hot day here in July in Georgia, and I hope it's cooler where you are. Today we are going to make chicken pot pie, which is one of my family's favorites, and when I taught home ec it was one of my kids' favorites, and it's just easy and quick to throw together, and so that's what we're going to do. And we're going to use a rotisserie chicken, and you can certainly use fresh. You can, bake your own chicken breast or whatever you want to do. Use leftover chicken. This is going to take about 3 cups. I measured this out before we started, so this rotisserie chicken is about 3 cups that I just picked up, and I just deboned it, and we're going to start with that. So let's get started, and I'm going to turn the camera down so that you can see what I'm doing here. Get you situated right there. All right, so what I have here is 3 cups of chicken. Now, I will put a recipe in the comments, but I'm going to tell you I very rarely ever measure out what goes in the pan, and that's because I just make it to fit my pan. For example, if I just wanted, an 8x8, if I wanted half of this, I would use half the rotisserie chicken. And so what I do is I just cover the bottom of the pan with chicken, whatever the size of the pan is. Okay, then we're gonna take a can of mixed vegetables, and you can either do 1 can or you can do 2, and you wanna drain them. And so you just wanna sprinkle these all over like that. And just wanna kinda mix them in. I wanna use my big favorite, I call it the lunchroom lady spoon. Because those ladies work hard and it makes me think about them. But anyway, so you just want to kind of mix that up. Then, and I have to say this before we go on to the next thing, I'm honoring Miss Annie today. If you follow Miss Annie's Home and Kitchen, you'll notice that this is the kind of bacon dish that she uses. And I think it's from Good Cooks maybe. I bought this a while back, but it's just a white 9x13 ceramic dish, and I love it. I bought the 8x8 too. So here is a can of cream of chicken soup, and also this spatula. I think Miss Annie had this linked on her page, and it's perfect for getting soup out of cans or any kind of little job that you need to do there. So you just want to pour the cream of chicken soup in it, scoop it out rather. And I love that little spatula for getting in the corners right there. Then what I do is I take chicken broth, and what I do is I want to put about half chicken broth and half whipping cream in this pan. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball it there. Sometimes it takes the whole thing, sometimes it does not, and I can see in here it is going to take the whole thing. So that's just Swanson's chicken broth right there. Yep. Then this is heavy whipping cream, and you can certainly use half and half if you want to. It just will make it thinner, and that's okay. I've done both. It's all right. And so I'm just going to pour a little bit right here, maybe a half cup or so. And this is a super thick whipping cream. I have not bought this brand before, and I'm sure it's fine. But I'm going to add a little bit of milk to it, and I just buy this brand just because I like the way it tastes. But I'm going to add a little bit of milk to that because the whipping cream is so thick. But basically, you just want to have a combination of broth and cream or milk. And whatever you do, it's going to be fine. You could do all milk, you could do half and half, you could do what I did and do a little bit of whipping cream and a little bit of milk. It's going to be okay. All right, and then let's see. Oh, I'm going to put a little bit of salt and pepper on it. So there's just a little bit of pepper, and the rotisserie chicken is fairly salty, and the stock is salty, the cream of chicken is salty, so it really doesn't take much right there. So we just want to kind of stir that up a little bit right there. Okay. Then I'm gonna push this up. Oh, I forgot. I've got 1/4 of a cup of chopped onions, and you can put those in or leave those out. It's up to you. If your family does not like onions, you do not have to put them in there. I'm gonna push this up a little bit here and show you what I've got right here. This is 1.5 cups of white lily self-rising flour. And then in this bowl, I have a stick of melted salted butter. And you could certainly use unsalted if you wanted to. And all I'm gonna do is just dump that in there. And I know that I'm using a liquid measuring cup for flour, but I wanted to put the whole 1.5 cups in there. And this is not like baking a cake or baking, sorry about that. It's not like baking a cake or baking cookies where you have to be chemically exact. So that's why I use the liquid measuring cup. Okay, so what you want to do is you just kind of want to whisk this butter and this self-rising flour just a little bit, and then you want to put anywhere from 1/2 cup to 3/4 of a cup of milk, and you really can just eyeball it. You really kind of want to have it the texture of pancake batter. It may be a little bit more runny, but you really can't mess this up. I promise you, you cannot mess this up. And so you really want it to be on the more liquidy side. You do not want it to be the texture of biscuit dough. That would be too thick for this particular recipe, but you can see it's pretty liquidy. So all that is just self-rising white lily flour and a stick of melted butter, salted or unsalted, doesn't matter, and then enough milk to make it liquid. You're just kind of looking for sort of a pancake batter texture right there. Let me move my little stand out of the way. Then what you want to do is you just want to pour this all over. And it doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be perfect, because what's going to happen is if you've ever made a peach cobbler or another fruit cobbler where you did this, where you poured liquid batter all over it, it's sort of the same kind of thing. And this is what it looks like. You can kind of see it in the picture there. What's going to happen is you're going to bake this for about 45 minutes to an hour on 425. Let me turn you up right here. So what's going to happen is the crust is going to rise to the top. We're going to put it in a really hot oven, like I said, 425, for about 45 minutes to an hour. And what you've created on the top essentially is a biscuit dough. And so the biscuit dough will puff up. It'll make a crunchy, crispy, buttery biscuit dough across the top. And I'm going to stick this in the oven, and later I will post a picture in the comments and show you what it looks like when it came out, or I may come back and do a video in a little bit and show you. That may be a better idea, but either way, I'll show you what it looks like. And again, if you have things you want me to make, or you have kitchen issues you want me to help you solve, please message me and I'll be glad to do so. Thanks for joining me. Okay, y'all, this is out. It took about 45 minutes, and this is what it looks like. It's bubbling. You can see here, this is how the crust does. It rises to the top and it gets brown. And then if you'll let it sit here and cool for a few minutes, it'll thicken up. So maybe about 10 minutes or so. So I hope y'all make this, and I hope you enjoy.